Hey y'all, welcome to the 200th episode of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now, we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. It is great, as always, to be with you again this week, and we are so happy to be celebrating our 200th episode. That's right. This is episode 200 of the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast with Shane and Jocelyn, and by far, this is the biggest, most audacious, craziest thing we've ever done on the show.
And that's saying something because we've done some really weird stuff over the past 6 years.
Yes, we've done some weird and crazy things, and we are confident that this is going to be one of the biggest and awesomest things we've ever done. We have 3 huge announcements that are not only going to change everything that we are doing professionally in our business life, but they are going to change everything for you and your family too.
Okay, now some of you may be wondering why on earth we titled the 200th episode Goodbye. Are we stopping the podcast? No, we're not stopping the podcast, but we are saying goodbye to some other things in our life, in our business.
So don't worry, we're sticking around. We're going to keep coming to you every single week and helping you flip your life with online business. And just like we're sticking around, we want you to stick around for this entire episode. You're going to want to listen to every single minute, because as we say goodbye to the past, you may be saying hello to your future. So sit back, relax. You may want to take some notes, because this is going to be an awesome ride for the 200th episode of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast.
All right, before we reveal what it is we're saying goodbye to, we're going to talk a little bit about our last 200 episodes. It's been a wild ride. We started out as 2 people from Kentucky just behind some microphones, and here we are 200 episodes later, which is pretty cool.
And it's always good whenever you're making huge changes to your life or to your business to kind of take a breath and sit back and look back at where you've been, because that's always the foundation of where you're going. So for those of you who may be new to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, or maybe you've been listening for a while, but you weren't with us since the beginning, our story starts back in 2012 when we were school teachers.
We were like many of you. We went to work, we came home, and for all intents and purposes, we were happy enough.
And then one day we found out our son, Isaac, was being mistreated at his daycare center, and I asked for the day off to go deal with this situation. And my boss was extremely cruel to me, told me that I could handle it after work, and basically said, I don't have time to help you right now. You'll have to deal with your personal problems later. It was at that moment that we realized that we had traded a lot of our freedom and a lot of our life away for a steady paycheck and a little bit of health insurance. This person thought they had total control of our life just because they were my boss. It was at that moment that we decided to look for something different, and that's when we found online business. Over the next year, Jocelyn and I would create an online business that would replace our income and allow us to quit our full-time jobs, work from home, and change our family's future forever.
So we quit our jobs, and we live in a very small area. When you quit your job in the middle of the school year, actually it wasn't even the middle of the school year, it was kind of like 2 months into school, people notice and they think it's a little strange. At that point, people started asking us, hey, why did you do this? What is it you're doing again?
But after people ask you why, and after they ask you what, they usually ask you, how can I do it too? One of Jocelyn's friends came up to her and said, hey, I'd love to stay home and quit my job so I can homeschool my kids. Do you think I could make money online too? So Jocelyn helped her make enough money online to feel comfortable quitting her job and staying home to homeschool her children. One day after church, her husband came up to me and said, thank you for teaching us how to do online business. It changed our life. My wife is going home and I'm going back to school to get my PhD. What you taught us really changed our life.
It's one thing to make some sales and make some extra money and even quit your own job. But when someone else comes up to you and says, hey, this has made a tremendous impact on my life, that's when we start saying, maybe there's more to this online business stuff than just making some extra money.
And we kind of looked at each other and said, if this changed our life and it changed our friend's life and their family's future, why couldn't we teach this to other people and change their family's future too? And that's what led to us even starting the Flip Lifestyle podcast in the first place, was really a heart to go out and a mission to change as many lives as possible by helping real families start online businesses. It was a struggle for us to figure out how to do this. How do you come up with an idea? How do you create products? How do you get them online? How do you even take money for digital products that you can sell? And how can you make a living doing this? Is that even possible? It's so different than what the world tells us we're supposed to do. And we really wanted Flip Lifestyle and the Flip Lifestyle podcast to be a resource for real people who are working full time and raising kids to be able to follow a step-by-step plan and be able to do this quicker and easier than we did when we first started out. So we decided that we were going to start a podcast. And it was one thing to create an online business, but we didn't know how to start a podcast. We were trying to figure it out, trying to start it, and we had this big idea. We said, all right, let's just record it. Let's just get it online, and let's just see what happens.
This was back in like 2014. Shane and I had listened to a few podcasts, but we really didn't know that much about how to put one of our own together. We took some things that we liked from other people's and we tried to come up with some ideas, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, is anybody even going to listen to this? Like, we are a couple of people who live in Kentucky and, we barely have internet service. Like, are people going to listen to this show? And who knows what's going to happen?
We had all the fears that you would have whenever you're trying to put yourself out there. Like, are they going to judge us because of our accents? And all the other entrepreneurial podcasts we listened to were like from California, and they were standing outside their Airbnbs driving Lamborghinis. Were people just going to listen to two normal people from Kentucky who had crazy accents and we're trying to teach them how to make money online?
Not to mention, we were school teachers, not even a year prior to starting this podcast. Are we enough of an expert? Will people listen to us? Do they believe that we've even done this? Some of those same fears that a lot of you guys out there have about starting an online business or trying to sell something online, those are some of the same fears that we had also.
Yeah, especially starting the podcast and fliplifestyle.com. So we get ready to record this first episode of the Flip Lifestyle podcast. And if you've ever been afraid of your technology skills or you were worried about what your first audio or video was going to sound like, you need to go listen to the Flip Lifestyle podcast.
Flip Lifestyle number one,
because it was probably the biggest unmitigated disaster in podcast history. We didn't know exactly how to record with two microphones. So we got this idea that I would use my computer on one side of the table with my microphone. Jocelyn would use her computer on the other side of the table with her microphone, and that I would Skype her because we had this call recorder software and we would just record it that way. But then when we listened back, both of our microphones were picking up each other. Well, mostly Jocelyn's was picking up mine.
But you forgot, though, that we had also attempted to do this one other time. So we sat beside each other on our couch in our living room and tried to record this podcast. It was bullet pointed. It wasn't exactly scripted, but it was the biggest disaster ever. We ended up getting so mad at each other because we weren't saying...
I do remember that now. That's right.
We weren't saying the things that the other person thought we were supposed to say. And oh my goodness, it was a disaster. It sounded terrible. And so then we moved to this setup on the kitchen table. It was like the dining room table. So we had already recorded for like 30 whole minutes. We listened to it and we're like,
oh my
no,
gosh,
this is...
I totally forgot that
this
happened.
Is terrible. So we went back and did it again.
All these other podcasters, they just record whenever they want. They just get on their little microphones. But you got a husband and wife with ideas going at it here on the Flip Lifestyle podcast. So like, I remember that now. And then the second time we did it, it was the worst audio I've ever heard in my entire life. It was absolutely terrible. Like, you couldn't do it. And then I think what happened next was Jocelyn went to the back side of the house and I went into the living room to record it on Skype again because we were trying to get farther away from each other, but it still echoed and there was just no way around it. The audio was terrible.
But finally, we had agreed on what we were going to talk about. Like, we were finally getting along. And so we were finally happy with at least the content part of it. So we put it out there. So you can find that at fliplifestyle.com/podcast1. So yeah,
go listen to that.
Take a listen to that one. You'll laugh.
And then we went through a big process of trying to figure out a better setup. We eventually got desks and this like studio recording, and we finally figured out how to record two microphones in one location and all that. And now, like, recording a podcast is just so easy. We've got it set up. We've got a couple chairs basically in our bedroom in front of this bay window, and we just plug them in and record it. And now it's so much easier. But man, it was so hard to get that started, and we've really come such a long way in the quality of the audio and I think the show.
But lest you think it's perfect now, I can assure you that it's not.
No.
We have creative differences very often on the show.
The audio got better, but some things will never change. And as we went on and we kept recording shows, the show evolved. At first, we didn't really know anybody to interview. We had no experts to bring on the show. We were just a couple kids from Kentucky that had figured out how to make some money online.
And we thought maybe that was part of the charm also, is that we weren't these experts who were living in their mansions and driving their fancy cars. We were just normal people who sat at their dining room table and tried
built an online business and recorded a podcast.
Yeah, and tried to record a podcast with decent audio.
So the first 20 or so episodes were just me and Jocelyn, and we were talking about all the things that we were not hearing on other podcasts.
And the things that people were asking us.
Yes, like how does a husband and wife work together? How do you find time when you're working full time to work on your online business? What do you do with the kids? How do you not feel guilty when you work on your business and the kids are doing something else? Really family issues. Yeah, we talked about email marketing and sales funnels and building your website and all the things you have to do to be successful online, but it was all these family issues and all this real world stuff that was really being neglected on other shows. But we did experiment and we tried a lot of things. We did go for a little period when we were having an expert Q&A session, but that really just didn't feel right to us because every time we brought someone on, all they wanted to do was talk about themselves instead of helping our audience. And all they wanted to do was sell their latest book or product instead of giving away free advice and good actual content. So we went back to me and Jocelyn just talking to each other for a while. And at this point, we had launched what we now call the Flip Your Life community. We had done a few beta groups of our Flip Your Life Blueprint course, and we saw some people getting a lot of results, and we were working kind of one-on-one with people at the time. And then we had this idea, what if we recorded these calls we were having with people one-on-one, and that was our podcast? Literally, we just helped someone take their business to the next level. We recorded it and let everybody be a fly on the wall to hear these real questions, real issues, this real in the weeds kind of podcast to help people take it to the next level.
And this was actually kind of revolutionary at the time. I don't know offhand of anyone else who was doing this. Now a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know at the time back in, I think we started in like 14. I don't know anybody who was doing this style of podcast. So, I feel like we did something that was fairly groundbreaking in this industry and that it was pretty cool because we were trying to serve our audience while at the same time create good content for other people who were interested in starting their own online business.
And that's where the idea for that podcast really came from because we want to serve as many people as possible. Our mission in life is to help as many families find freedom through online business as we can during our lifetime. We know how much has changed our life. We know the freedom that we have now, and we want that for other people. And this was a way that every word that came out of our mouth, every minute that we spent on Flipped Lifestyle was at the very least helping that person we were talking to one-on-one, and at the very most was helping thousands of people from all over the world get unstuck, get the answers that they needed to move their business journey forward.
Generally speaking, our last 200 episodes have been mostly once a week shows, bringing someone on and helping them get to the next level in their online business. And also letting our audience members listen in so you guys can take some of the things that we talk about and move your online business forward as well.
That's up until this point because we are saying goodbye to all of that. We are changing everything about our podcast going forward. Not because we're leaving. We're not going anywhere. We are here for you guys because we want your family to have what our family has. No, we're saying goodbye because we're going in an entirely new direction with our business. This process started probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when Jocelyn and I really started seeing people get dramatic results in the Flip Your Life community. We saw people quitting their jobs. We saw people making hundreds of thousands of dollars. We saw people starting online businesses that never believed they could do it before and having success. And we just started seeing dozens and hundreds of success stories pour in to the Flip Your Life community. We saw all of this start to grow, and we said, hey, if we could do this full time and this was all we did, imagine how many more people we could help. And that's when we started having a discussion about closing down or selling out of all of our other core businesses, all the things that we had built before we ever did Flipped Lifestyle, so that we could dedicate all of our most precious resource, our time, to helping our community succeed. So about a year ago, we started that process, and probably by July of last year, we'd either shut down most of everything we were doing or sold off our other companies that, quite frankly, were passive income cash cows. They were things that were set it and forget it, work a few hours a month, but they still took up mind space. They were still in the back of our head at all times. We still had to kind of watch them and keep the fire going. and it didn't let us devote ourselves fully to our people in the Flip Your Life community. And by July of last year, we had removed all of that from our plate.
As is the case with a lot of the decisions that we make in our business and even sometimes not in our business, people thought we were crazy with a capital K, crazy. They really
Way to throw in that Kentucky K on that crazy, Jocelyn.
I know that's good. But seriously, people thought we were nuts. They're like, why are you selling these businesses? Why are you doing this? It doesn't make financial sense.
What people often do when they look at me and Jocelyn is they're just looking at the numbers. And that's what so many business owners do, but they weren't looking at our mission. We were on a mission to change people's lives. Something was not satisfying us with just selling digital products and making passive income. But what was satisfying to us was getting emails from you guys like, hey, you helped me start my online business. I'm going now. Hey, I made my first money online. I had my 11-cent moment. Hey, I quit my job. Like those were the things that were moving us and motivating us and driving us into this mission to help families out there find freedom.
It was a hard decision to sell the business for other reasons, like for emotional reasons. You know, for me, it was hard because I had built Elementary Librarian in particular from the ground up, and it was sort of my baby. I felt like I should still serve those people. So that was a little bit hard for me, but I knew that the further away that I got from being a librarian, the harder it was for me to serve them. But I was really deeply entrenched in online business and helping the people in our community move their business further ahead. And that's why I said, you're right, we do have to sell. We have to get out of these other spaces and we have to go all in on this. And it wasn't easy. The end of 2017, which is when we sold Elementary Librarian, that was a tough transition for me because I was letting go of all of those feelings. I was trying to invest myself in the other business, but I had one foot still over in that business because I was helping them transition. And it was just kind of a rough time.
It's really taken us until now to detangle from everything and to let all of that start moving into the rearview mirror so that we could really focus on you guys, the Flipped Lifestyle podcast, the Flipped Lifestyle audience, and our Flip Your Life community. But now we are really, really happy with where we are and what we did because it has freed up all of our mental space. It has freed up all of our time to do what we want to do, and that's serve you guys through our brand. It's allowed us to plan an entirely new direction, to take an entirely new approach to helping you guys succeed, and really to create a whole new way of doing things. And just like we kind of changed the game when we started doing these live one-on-one calls on the podcast, we're going to flip the script and change everything again and really take our business to the next level so that we can help you guys take your life to the next level. The reason this podcast is goodbye is because we're saying goodbye to our old way of thinking, our old style, not goodbye to you. And to do that, we are making 3 huge changes to Flipped Lifestyle. The first big goodbye that we're saying on the 200th episode of the Flipped Lifestyle podcast is a goodbye to playing small. A couple years ago, we had a goal to help 1,000 families start an online business and change their lives. And when we first started out, we thought that was like the biggest goal you could ever set. I mean, what if we could get 1,000 people to start an online business? Jocelyn touched on this before. You know, we were new on the scene. We had a country accent. We were like, man, if we could just get 1,000 people to listen to us and understand what's truly possible, that would be absolutely amazing. And what's crazy is we've blown that goal out of the water. Our small little podcast that started out in a little room on a back street in a small town in Kentucky now has listeners in over 100 countries. We've got Flip Your Life community members from over 30 countries in every U.S. state. We have had millions of downloads, page visits, email subscribers, reviews and views from all over the world. This thing has gotten bigger than we ever could have imagined. And we've got to let our imagination get a little bigger if we're really going to impact the world in the way we want to. So we're saying goodbye to small thinking, and we're going to set a new goal, a huge goal, a real stretch goal for us. And quite frankly, it's a goal that scares us a little.
Yeah. And I was just listening to a podcast about this today. It was talking about like business mindset. And one of the things that she was talking about is how we are selfish. We are capable of doing so much more than we even think we can. And if we keep our gifts and our talents to ourselves, that's really being selfish. And that really spoke to me today because I've been having a hard time wrapping my head around this. Making huge goals is something that Shane finds very easy. It's something that he just throws around flippantly. But for me, I have a hard time wrapping my head around that. I mean, even 1,000 people for me was like, that was a big goal. And now I'm like, okay, well, this thing's going okay. Maybe we can have a few more 1,000 people. And Shane's like, oh, no.
No. A few thousand's not enough, my dear. When I first told Jocelyn that I wanted this goal, she gulped, took a deep breath, and her eyes got massive. Well, it's kind of like everything that works around here. I say something crazy and outlandish, and then Jocelyn looks at me surprised and then shakes her head and goes, but how are we going to do that? So we don't have to have it all figured out. We just got to know where we're going. So our huge goal now is not 1,000 people anymore. It's 100,000 people. We want to help 100,000 families start online businesses that could lead to replacing their income, could lead to quitting their jobs, could lead to paying for their kids' college, that could lead to leaving a legacy and an inheritance for their children's children. That's what we really want to do now, is set a massive goal, a goal that we've got to work for, and a goal that's really going to make a huge difference in the world. And that's helping 100,000 people start online businesses so their families can find the same freedom that we have. So the first point of our strategy to help 100,000 families start an online business was to look at our podcast. We do a little survey when people come into the Flip Your Life community, and we ask them, how did you hear about us for the first time? How did you find out about Flip Lifestyle? And usually people find our podcast. That's the vast majority of people find the Flip Lifestyle podcast. It's how we reach the most people, through our podcast and through our blog. So we said, hey, that's where we need to start and go after these people that we're going to help change their life.
As the Flip Lifestyle brand has grown over the years, one of the things that has been a little bit hard for us is that we are not able to be quite as accessible as we once were to people who are not members of our Flip Your Life community. And so part of the strategy that we are working on is to be able to be more accessible to you guys, to answer more of your questions, to help you come up with strategies to help take your online business to the next level.
We literally get hundreds of messages from you guys asking questions and telling us about how the Flipped Lifestyle podcast really helps you, how people look forward to Tuesday and they can't wait for the next episode, and they always pick up little golden nuggets and things like that. And even though we can't answer every single message that comes to us from outside of the Flip Your Life community, we looked at each other and said, hey, what if we just had more podcasts? When we do a podcast, we can speak to everybody at once. If we want to serve everyone in our audience more, let's just create more content. So we said to ourselves, if one podcast a week is helping people this much, how much more would 4 podcasts a week help them? And then we said, well, wait a minute, if we're already going to create content 4 days a week, why not have 3 blog posts come out too? So now people have something every single day that can inspire them, that can entertain them, that can help them take their online business to the next level. So that's the second thing that we're saying goodbye to, is goodbye to the current format of the Flip Lifestyle podcast, and hello to the new format of the Flip Lifestyle podcast. Starting this week, we are going to be doing 4 episodes for you every single week right here on the Flip Lifestyle podcast. Tuesday, it's going to be the flagship podcast. It's the same podcast that you've come to love over the last few years, of us helping our members, bringing on a Flip Your Life community member and giving them a live coaching call on the air and letting everybody listen in. So not only can they take their business to the next level, but you can as well. But we're also going to be adding multiple podcasts to our schedule. We're also going to start releasing a podcast on Thursday, and it's going to be a Q&A with S&J. We're going to take the best questions from our monthly member calls, and we're going to pick the 3 or 4 best questions that we got over the last month, and we're going to start airing those on Thursday so that you can hear a live Q&A. We're also going to start featuring some of your audience questions on that show so that you have a chance to get your questions answered as well. If you're on our email list, you know that at least once a week I'm asking, hey, what's frustrating you? What are you afraid of? What's holding you back? And I try to get back to as many of those as possible, but we literally get hundreds of those replies, so it's almost impossible for me to answer them all. But I'm going to start answering some of them right there on that Q&A every single Thursday so that not only you have a chance to get your question answered, but we can tell that answer to everybody else. We're also going to have 2 weekend episodes of the podcast, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. These are going to kind of be best of episodes. One of them is going to be mine. My episode is going to come out on Saturday. On each episode of our Saturday Flip Lifestyle podcast, I'm going to be helping you tackling mindset issues or specific obstacles that might be holding you back. Every Saturday is going to be knocking down a fear or mindset issue and giving you a piece of practical, actionable content that you can use to help take your business to the next level. And on Sunday, Jocelyn is going to be doing her own solo episode of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast.
And I told you guys that I'm going to stop being selfish. I'm going to stop keeping my gifts to myself. We sent out an email about a week ago asking people what they wanted me to talk about on the podcast. And so many people were like, hey, I know this is outside of your comfort zone. I'm really excited for you to do it. And you're right, it is outside my comfort zone. But I know that I'm not going to keep my gifts to myself anymore. And I want you guys to be successful. And that is the reason that I am putting this stuff out there. So on my episode, I'm going to be talking about issues that are specific to female entrepreneurs, work-at-home moms, people who are wives, people who are trying to do it all, because I'm right there with you. So I'm going to be talking about those types of things. And I'm also going to be giving you an update on the cool things happening inside the Flip Your Life community.
So that's 4 episodes a week of content to help you and your family flip your life. 4 chances a week to crush your fears, overcome obstacles, get that little nugget of information that you need to take your business to the next level. It's all free all the time, and it's going to happen 4 times a week starting this Thursday. 48 hours from now, you are going to get another episode of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. And we want to make sure that you're tuning in to fliplifestyle.com and checking out our blog. 3 times a week, we're going to be releasing blog posts with infographics and information that is going to just take it to the next level and go even farther to help you and your family flip your life. So we went from creating content 1 day a week to creating content every day a week, overnight. Goodbye to the old and hello to the new Flipped Lifestyle Podcast.
All right, and that brings us to goodbye number 3, which is the biggest goodbye of them all. If we are going to help 100,000 families start an online business, we are going to have to do something a little radical, a little crazy with that capital K. Something different and something totally contrarian to what everyone else is doing. And you guys know us. If you've been here 200 episodes, even if you've been here 2 episodes, you probably know that we do things a little bit differently than other people out there do.
And this is so radical. We've ran this by some of our friends, what we want to do. They pretty much think we're nuts. And a lot of people really cautioned us not to do this. We go back to that simple thing that they just don't get. They don't get our mission. Our mission is not just to make money. Our mission is not just to grow a business and look at the data and look at the numbers and how much are we up this quarter and all that stuff. That's not our mission. Our mission is to help 100,000 people start their own online business, to maybe help 100,000 people, 100,000 families flip their life and change their family tree forever. And as we stepped back and we looked at the industry, we looked at the online business teaching space, we noticed that a lot of coaches and a lot of gurus online are constantly trying to put barriers up between you and them. We hear about this a lot in some of their trainings. They want to position themselves and maybe their ego, maybe their character that they've created as better or different and kind of make it impossible to interact with them. They put barriers between you and their content. One of the things we've seen a trend lately in the membership space that we really don't like is this trend of putting huge join fees in front of memberships. Like you have to pay like $500 just to get into the membership before you even start paying monthly. And a lot of online teachers are doing this in the industry right now. And while I'm not saying there's not a place for that and, some places that works really good, we believe that most people are doing it because they just want as much money up front as possible because they know you're not going to stay long. They know that you're going to get in there and see the content and it's not very good, so they leave. You're going to get in there and see, dead forums, a dead Facebook group, and a dead community, and they know you're not going to pay that second or third month. They do it because they don't believe in their product. They don't believe in their content. They don't believe it has staying power. So strategically, they want to get as much money up front as possible, not change as many lives as possible. And that's our goal. That's our mission, is to change lives. So to help 100,000 people, we said, hey, if everyone else is doing this, we probably need to do the opposite. Instead of putting up barriers, we've decided to remove as many barriers as possible that stand between you and your family's future. So we are going to tear down the biggest barrier of all between you and your online business, between you and starting a project that could turn into an income that could let you quit your job and change your family's future. Our third big goodbye is saying goodbye to paying any money at all to join the Flip Your Life community.
So just to make sure you understand what Shane is trying to tell you, I'm going to tell you again. If you have ever thought about joining the Flip Your Life community, you can do it right now, and you can get your first month for free, totally free, no payment required.
That's 100% for free. No dollar trial, no 3 days to take a look at it, and then we kick you out. You get your entire first month, 30 days inside the membership for free. And this is not a watered down membership. This is 100% access to everything that we have ever created inside of the Flip Your Life community. You get the entire Flip Your Life blueprint, every training course that we have created, and every one that we roll in there going forward, because we release one like every month. You're going to get the entire Flip Your Life blueprint, all the trainings to start your online business. You get access to all of our community forums. You get to go in and set action plans just like everybody else. You get to go in and ask questions in the general forum just like everybody else. And you get to go in and post your success stories just like everyone else. Nothing is closed off from you. You get access to me and Jocelyn on 2 member calls a month.
Live.
Everybody is welcome to come to those. Everybody's welcome to ask a question, and we will answer them live on the air. Everybody who comes in gets access to our member calls and can listen in. You get access to our entire customer support team. In fact, you get priority support because you are a member of the Flip Your Life community, and we check all those messages before we go to our general contact form. You get access to all of our community moderators, all of our community leaders, all of our community coaches, all of our community managers. Nothing is held back. Every training, every forum, everything for an entire month for free, you get access to. You will be a full-fledged member of the Flip Your Life community. This is totally against what a lot of experts, quote unquote, do with their memberships online. And we ran this by a bunch of people that we know that run memberships, and almost 100% of them said, no, don't do that. You're crazy. And they had a lot of like derogatory things to say. They said, you're going to give your membership away for free? Well, you don't want those people to join your membership. You don't want free people to join your membership. And we kind of shot back, no, that's what you don't understand. We want to serve those people. We want people that have some kind of roadblock between them and success to bust through it, or us to go remove the obstacle from their path so that they can get started, so that they can get momentum and they can go flip their life. And other people said, that's crazy. You should get as much money up front in case they quit once they get in there. And we said, no, once they get in there, our stuff is so awesome, they're never going to want to quit. They're going to love our community. They're going to love being a part of the Flip Your Life family, and they're going to see actual progress and actual results happening. So why would they ever quit?
And some people will say, well, what if they come in there and just steal all your content? Guys, we're doing 4 podcasts a week. Like, our content's kind of already out there for free.
And what they can't steal is our teaching, our guidance through the Flip Your Life blueprint to make sure you're doing everything in the right order, step by step. And they can't steal the community and its leadership and its direction. And that's what really helps people flip their life. The Flip Your Life community is what gets people results. It's that united tribe of people, family-focused entrepreneurs working toward the same goal together. That's what makes people succeed, and that's what will make people stay long into the future. So it doesn't matter if we let people into the community, because that's what's going to help them get better. We want them in the community, so we've got to remove that barrier to get in. And the biggest thing people said to us was, well, who wants to deal with beginners? They're all just going to quit anyway. And we just don't believe that. Our mission is to help 100,000 people just like you start an online business and succeed. And we believe in you. And we believe in everybody that listens to the Flip Lifestyle podcast. We believe in real people who want to change their family's future.
And we know it's possible, not only for us, we've done it before, and we've helped so many other people do this. We truly believe that you can do it too, and we want to remove as many barriers as possible to allow you to have that chance.
We don't want to be one of these other experts that writes everybody off before they even get started. We want you to get started so you have an opportunity to find success. The people who are trying to start, build, and grow a successful online business, to establish financial freedom or quit their job, that's exactly the kind of people we want inside of the Flip Your Life community. So we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We're going to take away that first month membership fee. We are putting our belief in you and your family's future. Anyone who wants a shot at succeeding online, anyone who just feels like they need a chance, if someone would just give me an opportunity, I could do that. I think I could do that. This is your opportunity. Your first month in the Flip Your Life community is totally free. So you don't have an excuse anymore of, well, I just don't have enough money right now to try all this. You got no excuse. Sign up because your first month is free. Or maybe you're saying, oh, but I don't even have an idea yet. Well, you have no excuse because we have a training in the Flip Your Life Blueprint called Coming Up With and Researching Your Idea. And you get to go in right now and join for an entire month for free. You can go watch that course and you will have your idea. You will get the ball going.
More importantly, you'll have the support of the community right there. If you say, hey, I have 2 different ideas, which one do you think would be better? You have hundreds of people in there from all over the world who will help you to take that next step.
Or maybe you're saying to yourself all the time, I've got an idea, but I don't know how it would make money. I don't know what products I could sell to actually monetize this and earn a living online. Well, you've got no excuse because you get your first month free. So you can go in literally right now and take the product creation course and monetize that idea you've got. Or maybe you're saying, that's fine. There's no money barrier now. I can go in, I can get in there for 30 days, but I just don't have time to start an online business. Well, that's no excuse because we did it when we were working full time and raising kids. We know people in the community that have up to 7 children and created their online business while working full time and went on to quit their job and succeeded, and they didn't have a lot of time. And we literally have a course inside of the Flip Your Life Blueprint that shows you step by step how to find the time to work on your online business. You've got no excuse. It's all available to you right now for free.
Maybe you're saying, okay, that sounds great, but my spouse doesn't want me to waste money. Okay, well, there's no money being wasted because you have 30 days for free. We also have a training called How to Get Your Spouse on Board with Your Online Dream. So there is something else. No excuses for your spouse. Some of you might be saying, okay, well, all of this sounds great, but I'm not even sure if this online business thing is real. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Okay, we're going to squash that excuse too. We're giving you an entire month. We're giving you the support of our online community. You get to talk to Shane and myself at least twice on a live online Q&A, and we pop into the forums as well. There are hundreds of people in our community. This online business thing is real. Come in, check it out, and see for yourself. Here's a big one. Okay, a lot of you might say, all right, well, I believe this is real, but lots of the people around me are not supportive. I don't know anybody who's doing this, and I live in a really small town. Some of you probably do, just like us. And there aren't a lot of people. And when I talk to my family about this, I talk to my friends about it. They say, well, you know, those people, they have something special. They've got this all figured out. There's no way you could do that. Well, first of all, I would say get some new friends. But second of all,
you can find new friends in the Flip Your Life community because you're going to be in there a month for free. So get the first month free.
And it's awesome. I can't even describe to you guys how amazing it is to be surrounded by hundreds of people who are going toward the same goal, who want the same things, who understand what you're going through. I can tell you, and I've been doing this for 6 years, that I still don't have a lot of people in my life who understand what we do. I'm talking about like immediately
in the real world.
Like people that I know in real life. I still don't have that. I have to go online. I have friends that I talk to on Voxer. I have friends that I talk to in our community because I have to go there to get that type of support.
And we had someone just the other day, they shot us a video and sent it in, and they said, I check the community first every single day because I get such positive vibes because it's filled with people who not only want to succeed, but want to help me succeed and want to help other people succeed. And she told us that she had never experienced the love and support that's in the Flip Your Life community, even in real life things she had joined, like sororities and organizations and groups, because there's just such camaraderie in there because it's a bunch of family-focused entrepreneurs and we're all focused and going in the same direction. And maybe you say, I don't get sales and marketing. You know, I've got a blog. I created some stuff to sell, but I just don't get it. I'm not making enough money. I'm making a little bit, but, you know, not enough. Well, there's no excuse because we have trainings for sales funnels, sales pages, and email marketing, and even advertising. Jocelyn has a whole course on advertising inside of the Flip Your Life community, and you can get access to exactly what you need right now in your journey, and the first month's free. So go in there and take it. Check it out. Ask some questions. See if you don't get replies. Attend our member calls. You're going to get the help that you've been looking for. And finally, you know, a lot of people just say, I just don't know if I'm capable of this. I don't really believe in myself. This is all good for you and those other people, but I'm just not sure if I could do this. Well, I would say to you that you need the community more than anybody else because it's full of people who believe in you. Me and Jocelyn believe that you can do this. We believe that anybody can do this, and we want to prove it to you by giving you the opportunity to try it. So don't let that fear hold you back. If you don't believe in yourself, I'll believe in you enough for you. How about that? And you go join the Flip Your Life community and try it, and you'll see you're more than capable of doing what we teach inside of the community.
I talked about the idea of being selfish earlier. Every one of us has gifts and talents, and if we're not sharing them with other people in the world, then we're being selfish. And I think it's time, really, just like I did today, to get real with ourselves and say, are we doing the best we can with the abilities that we have, or are we living the same year 75 times over and over again, wishing that we could change things?
If you do nothing, nothing will change. And we're giving you the opportunity to go do something amazing. Where will you be 1 year from now? Like Jocelyn said, will you be in the same place doing the same stuff over and over again? Or will you do something today that will make not only a difference in your life and not only change your family's future? Starting an online business can revolutionize everything going forward, but you will stop being selfish and holding back your talents because you have something to give to the world. You've got an idea that could help someone else. You could be a pebble in the pond that ripples out across the world. We couldn't see it when we first started the Flip Lifestyle podcast that a couple from Kentucky could reach out and touch people in over 100 countries. You have something that you can give to the world, and you can make an impact out there that will also create an income and provide for your family and give them a better life.
Maybe you've been listening to this podcast for 200 episodes, or maybe you've been listening to it for just a few months, and you keep saying to yourself, one day I'm going to join that community, or one day I'm going to start a business just like they did, but I got to wait till the time is right. Well, the time is now. You can keep coming up with excuses.
This is the best offer we can give y'all, free. This is the best we can do to remove all of the obstacles from your path, is to let you in for free.
And you can keep coming up with excuses. You can keep putting up barriers and say, well, the time's just not right. It's just not my time. I'm not ready yet. Or you can jump in. You have literally everything that you need right in front of you inside our Flip Your Life community.
So for all of you guys who are already in the Flip Your Life community, tell people you know about this opportunity. Welcome these new people that are coming, because I'm telling you right now, when this podcast goes live, there's going to be a stampede, and the Flip Your Life family is about to grow because there are a lot of action takers out there right now. They didn't even know they were an action taker 50 minutes ago when they started this podcast, and they know this is their moment. They know it's their time, and they're going to go and take the advantage of that first month free. And for anybody who is listening who is not a member, you do not have an excuse. If you turn this podcast off and you move on and you pass this opportunity, then I don't know what it's going to take to make you change your life. We don't want you to be in the same place a year from now. We want you to be somewhere different. We want you to be somewhere better, but it has to start today. It has to start this month if you're going to be in a different place a year from now. It took me and Jocelyn a year to earn enough money online to quit our full-time job and change our family's future. Where will you be in a year from now?
If you don't take the first step, you're not going to be any closer to your goal.
So we want to give you the opportunity right now to get your first month free inside the Flip Your Life community. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FlippedLifestyle.com/FREE. Flippedlifestyle.com/free, and you can start your first month for no money down. You do not have to pay anything at all for 30 days. You get an entire month for free, and in that month, you're going to have access to every training, every forum, every area in the community, every live Q&A with me and Jocelyn. Everything is free access for your first month so you can get started online.
We even have a weekly new member orientation to help you get started. This is a live call that happens at 9:00 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday night. So if you hurry and join, you'll even be able to catch our next new member orientation to help you get started. This is a live call where you can ask our team questions about the membership, and they show you around, show you how to find all the trainings, all of the different parts of the community so you can get started today. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FlippedLifestyle.com/FREE. Flippedlifestyle.com/free, and you can start your first month today for free.
Well, guys, that is a wrap for episode 200. I know we scared you to death with that title, Goodbye, We didn't mean to scare you. We're not going anywhere. We've been here for 200 episodes. We're here for 200 more, even beyond that, so that we can help you change your life and help your family have a better future. Don't forget, we are going to 4 podcasts a week starting now. So look for our next episode on Thursday. And we're going to be releasing 3 blog posts a week over at flippedlifestyle.com. But most importantly, we hope you are going to be one of the 100,000 people we help start their own online business so you can change your family's future. We can't wait to see you inside of the Flip Your Life community and welcome you with open arms into the Flip Your Life family. Don't forget to go to flippedlifestyle.com/free and get your first month for $0 right now. Enjoy your first month. We'll see you there. Until next time, get out there and do whatever it takes, like joining the Flip Your Life community, whatever it takes to flip your life.